Hello, my name is Belle. Normally I make gardening videos on this channel, but my boyfriend and I are also in the process of renovating our downstairs. And right now we're tackling adding board and batten to this little pony wall that we have on the outside wall for downstairs. Because we're in a split level, this part just is made of cement. This is the underground part, everything that's blue, and it's just a little bit thicker than the top part of the house, which is above ground. So to kind of deal with this protruding little structure, we thought we'd put a board and batten pattern to try and make it look a bit nicer. Brendan has already prepped all the trim. He's cut them to size for everywhere that we're gonna be putting it in. I measured out the spacing that I want, that I think will look good in this area. And he taught me how to be putting it on, to be installing each of these little pieces of trim.
Alright, I've got one horizontal stud right here, and it goes around like that. I've got sill plate at the bottom, that's covered up by this. And then I've got a stud at the top that's covered up by this. So this is the only nail I can put on this thing.
Okay.
The rest is going to be adhesive.
Judy, what do you think? Think it's a good plan? Good plan? Tail wag, that's a yes. By the way, people in the comments say hi, Brendan.
Really? Well, hello to them too. So, you're just gonna go like this.
I could do that.
Now you know how you siphon gas? Or not gas, but aquarium, whatever, that flow.
Yeah.
Same thing happens when you start squeezing this. And then there's a way to make it stop.
It just keeps coming out?
Yeah, but that's what this thing's for. Push that.
And it stops?
Yeah, just stop it.
Okay, and how do you start it?
Just start squeezing.
Oh, okay.
And put that over the paper towel. And then you're probably gonna want to put the edges in first. So you put in one end, and then you kind of pull out the middle so you can get the top in.
Okay, you're squeezing it?
Yeah. There we go. And then you got this mallet. Lock it into place. We got a laser here. Make sure it's straight. And then you take your stud finder. Brad neighbor.
Who's Brad? What's he doing with every
Makes
nail?
nails. And go like,
You know.
and that's that.
So that's what I'll be doing today, just putting the wood glue on the back of these, nailing it in the center towards the stud where that is. We have a horizontal stud going throughout this, and just getting them all set in place before we do the finishing touches. And I'll probably ask Brendan to come in and help in the places where the electrical outlets are blocking a piece of trim. I think he can go in and then make the cuts where he needs to, so we're not blocking anything off. Okay, I just wanted to show you what this initial part looks like. It still looks a bit messy. All these like little edges that you can still see, we're gonna touch that up, make it look seamless, definitely touch up some paint. And then hopefully, as I finish it all the way around, it'll start to really pull the room together. got through most of it that day. Some issues we ran into were not initially marking out the right spacing, so we had to remeasure everything. And then one of our boards we realized lines up with an outlet, so we're gonna wait until we purchase and receive the outlet covers that we need. I think we're gonna use jumbo outlet covers, which we don't have right now, so we wanna just make sure that we're cutting the trim out exactly along the edges of that cover. The state of it right now is that Brendan has put in all of the wood filler where we put in all the nails and along the edges, just because for some of them there were some pretty significant gaps. I think we're gonna wait until we do that last piece of trim, and then we can do the wood filler and cover it up the same way we did everything else, sand it, and then paint everything all at once rather than painting it now, then waiting and doing the painting again for that one piece. I was always of the mind that we should have done the painting last in the first place and not have gotten that blue on the wall just yet, but Brendan really wanted to move forward with it. I think we were at a standstill during that time where we were waiting on the countertops. So he just wanted to get something done, really. So that's where we're at with the work on the house. I thought today I would just show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna make some focaccia sourdough bread. Cross my fingers. I've never really did it. I started a sourdough starter the other week and I put it in the fridge and I just haven't gotten around to using it. This is gonna be my first recipe that I'm doing with sourdough. This was fun to do, to have a sourdough starter. I am gonna get everything started and then maybe after, while I'm letting it rise for about an hour or two, I will go outside to the hoop house and get some just patches done and get it ready for this spring. I think next week we're gonna have a cold spell. It's gonna be in the negatives at night, but the week after that it's gonna start looking good enough to maybe have some production going in the hoop house just for the really hardy cold tolerant plants. So that's exciting, and I just want to get ready for that, patch up some of the holes that we have and see what I can do to maybe help it retain a little bit more heat. Okay, wish me luck. So I added a half a cup of starter, of my sourdough starter, and about 1.75 cups of lukewarm water, as well as some salt. Now this recipe is telling me to mix the sourdough starter and the water first, get it combined, and then put the rest of the flour in. I don't know why, but I am just following their expertise. And it's nicer because I can get all the sourdough starter more easily out of this measuring cup. Okay, that's gotta be about the worst way that you can measure out 4 cups of flour, but let's just hope that that's how much it is. It says drizzle it with some olive oil and rub it to cover. Oh my gosh, olive oil and bread, like my 2 favorite things. It smells amazing. Now, I don't have any clean tea towels or a cover for this bowl. I don't have any saran wrap either, so I'm just getting this normal small towel. I don't know what you call it, a hand towel. It's damp, and I'm just gonna cover this. And I'm gonna wait maybe an hour, maybe more than that. I'll check to see how long it takes. Well, let me just show you the size of it and for my own record. So I'm waiting for this to double before I proceed. Now, in the meantime, I think I am gonna get bundled up, play with my dog a little bit outside, and then check up on the hoop house and see if I can patch any holes. Actually, just kidding. It took about 18 hours for this dough to double in size. And I've just left it out here on the counter. So what I'm gonna do now is just butter this pan. I'll take the dough, fold it a few times in here and let it rise for another 4 to 6 hours. So I'll get to baking this later today. We'll have it this evening, I hope. And for the hoop house, I didn't get absolutely everything done. Yesterday I did patch up some of the holes that I noticed just on the front wall. Today I have a few other things I want to try and get done. It's pretty sunny, or it was pretty sunny. It got a little bit cloudy today, but hopefully it's nice outside and I can get some work done. I have also some hoops that are supposed to arrive in the mail, some hoops that I do want to put inside and create another low cover. So it's kind of a little hoop within the big hoop house. I hope they come today. If they do, I'll go ahead and put up those as well. There's a lot of oil. I'm using that in addition to all this butter that I put. Fold it a couple of times. And put it seam side down. I'm just gonna spread it to shape. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna leave this uncovered, again, as I said, for 4 to 6 hours. Hopefully it should have doubled in size. And then I'll get to baking. Hopefully it's a success. Hopefully it did everything right. We'll see. It's been about 5 hours, I think, since I let this sit and rise. It's definitely grown. I don't know if it's doubled in size. What I'm gonna do now is just press some holes into it with my hand that I just washed. I think that's good enough. And I already preheated the oven to 425. I'll cook this for maybe 20 minutes. And then I'll see you after.